In today's video, how to stay lean year-round.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. Happy Friday. Gonna keep it brief today. Very, very busy day. The competition season is kicking off and I've got to write like 10 peaking plans for next weekend because boom, competition season is so fun, but it's also very intense because I like to create individualized peaking plans. So it takes a while for me to break everything down, send them out, but man, today is a very exciting day for that reason. And just got back from the doctor. Healthy baby boy is due in 3 weeks. So yeah, we are on track. My wife is a champ. And today's video is gonna be about the topic of how we stay lean year round. What does that look like? And came from my Instagram direct messages. You guys just continue to rock. I've got some topics I wanna do, but you keep giving me these great questions. So what I wanna do is talk about how we get and stay lean year round. And the first thing we gotta discuss is, what is lean to you, okay? This is a very personal thing, and the reason I want to talk about this is the psychology of nutrition and training and dieting and looking at people on Instagram and pictures in magazines and people on billboards and on the movies, and then you look at yourself and you don't feel worthy. You don't feel like you're doing the same things. But you got to remember, a lot of times when you see those images, they are very specific, okay? Even myself, right now, when I make this video, you know what I do? I move it around so that the lighting is the best it can be so I look good. So you're looking at me and you're thinking, man, you look really good right now. Well, I could turn this thing around and make myself look terrible with bad lighting. I don't want to do that because then you're going to shut off the channel and go watch Christian Guzman. Not my goal. But you see my point, okay? We represent ourselves the best way we can on the internet. And so for people that are not familiar with that and you see yourself in the same crappy bathroom lighting at your house every day, lighting from the side, dim lighting from overhead, from behind, and you just look down, you don't see the details, find some good lighting, okay? That's a huge key, especially in the process of getting and staying lean. So that's the psychology side, okay? Don't hold yourself to some unrealistic standard just because you saw somebody on Instagram that looks crazy shredded. Pay attention to the picture. Is it a selfie? If not, someone's taking the picture for them. Who's taking the picture for them? Is it a professional photographer? If it is, they likely have professional lighting. They dieted specifically for that shoot. And they also probably got to pump up or do something specific for that shoot to make it look, are they posed? Posing can do a lot, okay? Whatever's closest to the camera looks bigger. So if I want to look bigger, I simply try to make myself look bigger like this, right? And then I get close. That's what I'm saying when you look at pictures on the internet, okay? You guys, don't compare yourself to something that's unrealistic, okay? So that's the first thing, the psychology. But let's talk about the real nuts and bolts of how do we get lean and stay lean. And as someone who's been lifting for over 20 years, I couldn't have made this video 5 years ago, right? My mindset was differently. So I'm gonna help you guys. And I'm not saying you're not gonna make some mistakes along the way, but I'm gonna try to give you my best advice for how to do this, how to get to a place where you're comfortable and happy and feel good. And it might require time, but if you love this and you really want it, well, time is on your side, okay? Guys, I'm 42 years old. I look and feel the best I've ever felt. My knees, not so much, but guess what? I didn't do anything for 20 years but run, baseball, basketball, volleyball. My knees are going to be getting worse over time. But my physique, everything else feels great, okay? I carry more lean body mass than I've ever carried. I remain leaner year round than I've ever remained. My diet is the best it's ever been. My overall general health and well-being is the best it's ever been, and I'm 42. And I know if you'd have told me at 22, I probably thought 42 was about time to start retiring, sit in that rocking chair, watch baseball while my kids mow the lawn. Not the case. I love being active, and so I plan to do this for the next 20 years, 40 years. So don't short-term it. Don't shortcut yourself. Don't get into doing things that are gonna make you look better in the short term, but leave your lifestyle and health worse in the long term. Things like drastic diets, okay? Don't get into these things where you're trying to lose 20, 30 pounds in just a few weeks or a few months, okay? Yes, you're gonna lose some weight, but you're gonna probably develop habits that are not sustainable and potentially leave you in a worse place than you started, okay? So my first rule of thumb is whatever your goal is, allow the body to adapt, okay? Don't force it to adapt, okay? Building muscle takes time. Adding fat does not take time. Taking fat off takes time, okay? Our bodies are very sensitive to the changes we make. So you want to allow the body to adapt over time. If you have 40 pounds of fat to lose, it needs to be done over a year, okay? It doesn't need to be done in 2-3 weeks, okay? Stop looking at the magazines at the grocery store. Those magazines are ridiculous. You're not stuck because you have to detoxify something in your body, okay? You're not stuck for any reason other than your lifestyle and your diet have been questionable for years and you know it, okay? So if you want to make those changes, it took you years to get where you're not happy. It takes you years to get where you're happy, okay? I happen to be someone who was into physical fitness from a very young age. I played sports all my life. I was never overweight. So my journey was always to put more weight on, put more muscle on. And I made a lot of mistakes. I used to overshoot. I used to think, okay, well, if I get up to 250 pounds, when I diet back down, I'll look better because I'll have all this muscle. No. Understand that maintaining a lean physique year-round, you can still improve over time. I used to, push myself too hard to weigh more all the time, associating weight gain with muscle gain. It's not the case, guys. If I could go back and do anything to my younger self, when I was 200 pounds, 205, trying to get to 210, and 210 trying to get to 220, and 220 trying to get to 230, I would say, hey, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to put on so much weight in such a short amount of time? Okay? Allow the scale to go up over time. As you get stronger, as you add lean body mass, okay? Seeing the scale go up a couple pounds a year is plenty when you're talking about muscle gain. Yes, early on in the process, you might be a little quicker than that, but even then, newbie gains are gonna happen on their own. You don't need to put on 20 pounds of body fat to see that happen. Likewise, if you're very overweight and your goal is now to maintain a lean physique year round, don't try to do it by summer, okay? Set the goal for next summer, okay? Start the process now. Allow it to happen. Stop focusing on the short term. When you focus on the short term, you make the long term much, much, much more difficult. If it's financial, if it's education, if it's work, if it's relationships, whenever you sacrifice something to look good or feel good or have more in the short term, you sacrifice your long-term benefits. So this is the long game. Looking lean year-round is a long game, okay guys? Find the happy place for your body. Now, what does that mean? The happy place is the place where you can look pretty good year-round. You might have a little more body fat than what you would consider lean, but you look pretty good. And strength in the gym is good, recovery is good, you're not food obsessed, you're eating plenty, you're getting the nutrients, you're putting on the muscle, you're seeing performance improve, you're seeing your measurements change, you're seeing the measurements on your shirts get a little tighter, you're noticing the lats are popping out a little more. When you notice little things like that, that is huge because it takes time to do that. So when you're walking by the mirror and you go, hold on there, I don't remember that striation last week, that's progress, okay? Don't minimize those positive changes. Keep them going, okay? Then, after a while of doing that, if you want to diet down a little bit and see what you've done, well, this is where competition is great, but you don't need to compete. Photo shoots, a vacation, diet down. But now we're not talking about losing 40 pounds every time you diet down, right? I would say for men to stay around the 12% body fat mark. It's going to take a little bit of work, maybe 14, but when you want to come down to 8 or 7 to really have some nice detail in the obliques and the six pack, it's not going to be such a jaunt. It's not going to be so difficult for your physique. It's not going to take you 6 months to get there, right? Same thing with women. Now, women don't tend to have this issue because I don't know a lot of women that go, you know what? That's it. I'm bulking. I want to wear a size 27 dress and squat 500 pounds, right? Women tend to take care of their weight a little bit more meticulously. But my brothers, my men, we just go on the bulk and just bulk and just eat whatever and gain whatever and go, yeah, it's muscle. It's not muscle, guys. This is a long-term process, okay? Now, could I give this advice had I not made these mistakes? Probably not, because if someone had told me when I was 24 and I said, my goal is to weigh 240 pounds and I don't care what it takes to get there. Someone had said, hey, you know what, Paul, maybe it's smarter to stay 215 and gradually add muscle, because guess what? That rest is just body fat. I probably would have thought, you know what? That guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, or girl. So with that said, you might need to make your own mistakes. This is just advice from Coach Paul on how I feel you can stay in shape year round. Get to a lean level, continue to build from there. Well, guys, that's it for today. Sorry for the interruption. Snake caught my attention, but guess what? You know what to do. You've been thinking about it. You've been wondering. And deep down, you've known the whole time. Take care of the little things each day. If you want to be lean and look great year round, it just takes a little bit more commitment. And once it becomes the norm, it takes no extra effort. It takes me no extra effort to go to the gym and plan my food and choose my meals wisely. You know why? Because I've been doing it so long, it's just the norm now. Change is difficult. The initial change is going to be tough. But once you get through that, you get to look this good at 42. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. I gotta get back to work. I said this was gonna be brief, and I talked too long. I might have had a monster before I shot this video. I don't know. All right, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All by myself.